So we will go to our subsequent lecture, which is it will be delivered by Dr. Fazlina, who is a family medicine specialist from Klinik Kesihatan Anika Selangor. She will be talking on the diagnosis and investigations of EVALI. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Nur Hayati, for the kind introduction. And I would like to thank the organizer for allowing me to deliver my talk today. I am Dr. Fazlina, and the topic of my presentation today is EVALI diagnosis. To begin, I would like to outline the objective of this topic. In this topic, we will learn about clinical presentation and laboratory investigation, chest imaging, differential diagnosis, definition and definition for EVALI. So EVALI is a disease that may be missed due to lack of awareness among healthcare providers. In a nationwide study based on cases reported to the CDC and Prevention of USA, some patients initially presented to the outpatient setting with EVALI-related symptoms but were not admitted. For this cohort, out of those who were later admitted, 46% were fatal. The risk of mortality for the adverse outcomes were higher among patients with comorbidity like respiratory disease, mental health condition, cardiac disease, and obesity. So the clinical presentation of EVALI are very similar to other acute respiratory infections or illnesses. About 80% of the patient experienced shortness of breath, followed by coughing, whereas only half of them had chest pain. Some patients also presented with gastrointestinal symptoms. For the gastrointestinal symptoms, about half of them complained of nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, as well as abdominal pain. About 3/4 of the patient presented with fever and tachycardia, and about half of the patient will have hypoxia and tachypnea. On top of them, this patient have to have a history of vaping within 90 days. So EVALI is a diagnosis of exclusion. Thus, we do all relevant investigations to rule out probable illnesses. The lab investigations that can be done in primary care setting are full blood count, ESR, CRP, culture and sensitivity, like blood, sputum, and urine analysis, respiratory panel for influenza and other possible infectious pathogens, autoimmune screening, and in local setting, TB and COVID-19 workup has to be done. Abnormal chest X-ray abnormal chest imaging like a chest X-ray or CT scan is mandatory to diagnose EVALI. However, a normal chest X-ray does not exclude EVALI. In case with a normal chest X-ray but a strong clinical suspicious of EVALI, a CT scan can be performed to assess the lung injury. So we use the CDC and Prevention of USA 2019 lung injury case definitions for the diagnosis of EVALI. Thus, EVALI can be classified as a confirmed and probable case. To qualify as a confirmed and probable case, the first two criteria must be met, which are using an e-cigarette, vaping or vaping in 90 days prior to the symptom onset, and a pulmonary infiltrate such as opacities on the plain chest X-ray radiograph or ground glass opacity on the chest CT. Addition criteria for confirmed cases include the absence of pulmonary infection at first workup. The minimal criteria are a negative respiratory viral panel and a negative influenza PCR or rapid test. And all other clinically indicated respiratory infectious disease testing, such as urine antigen for streptococcal pneumonia and Legionella, sputum culture if productive cough, bronchoalveolar lavage culture if done, blood culture HIV-related opportunistic respiratory infection, if appropriate, are all negative. And there is no evidence in the medical record of alternative possible diagnosis like cardiac rheumatology or neoplastic process. For case definition of probable cases, the first two criteria for probable cases are the same as the confirmed case, that is, using e-cigarette, vaping or damping in 90 days prior to the symptom onset, and pulmonary infiltrate such as opacities on plain film chest X-ray or ground glass opacities on the chest CT. Other than that, probable cases include infection detected by culture or PCR, but the clinical team believes that it is not the sole cause of the underlying lung injury. Or the minimal criteria to rule out pulmonary infection were not met because the testing was not performed, and the clinical team believes that infection is not the sole cause of the underlying lung injury. And there is no evidence in the medical record of the alternative possible diagnosis, for example, cardiac, rheumatology, or neoplastic process. Infectious pneumonia and other inflammatory lung disorders are among the differential diagnoses for EVALI. Infectious pneumonia can be caused by bacteria, fungi, viruses, or pneumocystic jirovecii. The other differential diagnoses are diffuse parenchymal lung diseases such as acute hypersensitive pneumonitis, acute eosinophilic pneumonia, organizing pneumonia, and cellular non-specific interstitial pneumonia. Finally, other diffuse lung diseases include acute respiratory distress syndrome and diffuse alveolar hemorrhage. So this is the flowchart for EVALI management. When EVALI is suspected, based on the history and chest X-ray, we should consult a physician. Then we ought to proceed with the workup to rule out other possible diagnoses. If the workup is negative, we can classify the case as confirmed EVALI. Treat the patient and notify the case. When discharged, the patient should be followed up appropriately. If the workup is positive, the clinician will review the case and treat the patient accordingly. If the case fits the diagnosis, then the criteria for possible EVALI is made, and the patient can be treated and notified. Following discharge, this patient needs to follow up. So as a take-home message, common symptoms in EVALI are respiratory symptoms, GI symptoms, and patient can have signs like fever, hypoxia, tachycardia, and tachypnea. Relevant laboratory investigations should be done to rule out other probable diagnoses before diagnosis of EVALI can be made. And lastly, the diagnosis of EVALI should be made based on the case definitions as outlined by the US Center for Disease Control and Prevention, that is confirmed and probable cases. So with that, I thank you. Thank you for your attention.